Hey guys, we are back, and this is actually, I think, going to be the last where to get free 3D models online, or where to get, not free, I'm sorry, where to get 3D models online. We looked at Google Warehouse, free, or SketchUp Warehouse, free, Turbo Squid, premium, but reasonable per project. If you're getting a car commercial and you need a perfect model of that car, you should be coming away with like the $10,000 or $8,000 from that job. And if you charge an extra day or half day for the Cine design, or it just gave you something to actually do on the Tech Scout, and provide a little bit of extra value, you should be making hopefully that kind of money. I can't speak for every market and for everyone's rates, but that's kind of like where this is. $100 for a car to make that happen. You might have also bought the director like a drink and a beer and dinner when you guys were hanging out to be a nice, or something like that. Though that's probably a better investment in the networking. Like you spend money to make money. This is part of that process. And like I said, if you're working at the high end now, a lot of Cine designers right now, you guys who are just starting with this, you're like, oh, we're all on the same level and it's the same thing. But you'll start to see we have an ecosystem already starting to develop between the DPs that do this. And it's like anything else, like a high-end DP that makes a lot of money can spend more money on better models than a DP that's just starting that has to use SketchUp models. So you're seeing an ecosystem already start to happen. Just wanted to make that aware, because I've given betas and other people have been trying this already. There's some high-end DPs doing this, and they've got the bankroll to be buying like nice quality models for their stuff to be lit with. It does make a difference. The market is very small. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of foresight into the future of what this is going to look like. A lot of DPs are going to do this, especially in the commercial space. And it starts to be about presentation, like everything in cinematography is, as far as getting jobs and being on an agency and pitching and all that stuff. It's all presentation. That's all about the sell. So let's look at 3D Scan Store. 3D Scan Store is run by a friend of mine, James Busby. We are great friends. Love everything he's doing. He has a amazing scanning system that these are actually based on photos of people. So if you're not familiar with scanning people, you should check it out, but just know that most of these are real people. They're scans of real people. The textures, the pose, the expressions, the skin, they're real people. So when you use these 3D models in Cine design, they look like real people, and it's like you just start to believe it more, and you can start to understand the lighting a little bit more. So let me show you what's good about these and what takes a little bit of work to make them work. So again, what's great is that they're based on reality and they're very real. They don't look like cartoons, and if that's going to help you, that's good. In some cases, it's good to be a little bit cartoony because it's a little bit more generic. Because like when you bring in one of these people, it's like, well, our talent doesn't look like that. It's like, yeah, but use your imagination. It's hard to use your imagination when it looks like literally a real person, because it is a real person. Reality capture is something that we'll be covering in the future too, because reality capture, hey, what if you could use photometry, which is taking a lot of photos, and have a very reality captured, realistic version of your stage or your house, the location you were shooting, and you use that for Cine design? We'll be talking about that. That's something I've been doing for a long time, and the tech is not quite there to make it accessible to everybody, but it is there. You can work with 3D scans of real people, and you can work with 3D scans of real locations. Combined with Cine Designer, I'll let you do the math of what that starts to look like and what you can start to provide to your clients, and some other stuff, which I'll go over in the future. So let's look at this model. She comes nude, also with some clothes. Really good. So she's going to come in posed, and you could use these like it is. But what you can't do is you can't move her around yet. But I'll show you how to do that in a future episode. Just know that you can rig her automatically. You're not going to have to know anything other than just how to click a couple buttons. I will show you how to do that. But as you buy it from James, as you buy it from 3D Scan Store, they just come in posed, and what you see is what you get. And a lot of the times that's fine. If you're doing like, you just want to show where the lighting is coming from, you just kind of rotate them around, but you can't like animate them just yet. But I'll show you how to do that. It's possible. It's just not part of something that he offers. So go check out 3D Scan Store. Really gorgeous models. I think this is just a head. It's just a bust, but it's a very realistic one. So if you wanted to kind of like get in there and just start lighting some realistic faces, this is the best place on the internet to go get realistic faces, to start to understand lighting a face just by itself. And that's maybe useful to you. I've done similar things. I have a bunch of James's models, and they're all gorgeous. And I hope that you're able to, now you don't need to buy the commercial license, I don't believe, because that's for making a product with these. I believe you can use personal or business, but I think you could probably use personal because, like, here's the thing, and this also speaks to the licensing of Cinedesigner. You are not allowed to use the Cinedesigner models or software to make a product. So you can't take my 3D models, put them in a video game, sell that video game. You also, right now, with my licensing, you can't render them and then make like a paid cinematography guide with that. And just go through here. There's a bunch of cool ones. They're pretty affordable as far as having photorealistic human beings. And there's more and more added. Follow 3D Scan Store on Facebook. He does a lot of updates, and it's a cool way to get some real world people. And if you saw some of my marketing materials, I used some models that were like this, and then I rigged them, which I'll show you how to rig later. So that's our look at 3D Scan Store. I really recommend buying at least one. Go buy at least one of these 3D scan models and just play with it. So that's 3D Scan Store. Go buy a model. Do it. Go buy one of these. Drop it in your scene. You'll be glad you did. It's really cool to work with 3D scan models. And sometimes they're better than cartoons because they look like real people. That's it. 3D scans look like real people. Done deal. I will see you guys on the next episode. I think we're going to look at Adobe Fuse next. So let's check that out. Next, that's going to be kind of a big episode. It takes a long time to show everything that it does. But besides the 3D scan models, besides SketchUp Warehouse, besides Turbo Squid, and besides 3D Scan Store, Adobe Fuse is where we get our models, guys. It's the secret sauce. Scans are good for certain things. Definitely go get one. There's a couple free 3D models on SketchUp Warehouse. I wouldn't use those. Fuse. We're going to do Adobe Fuse next. I'll see you guys later.